Hello and welcome to the Apiary. This is Jake B-Man with Golden Fox Farms. Today, it's early March. We are having an unseasonably warm day. We're out here preparing for swarm season, and this really marks the first manipulations of the year. We'll do reverses where indicated and frame shuffling where it's needed. The single closest to the camera in this apiary ends up needing doubled, while the orange-fronted double in the middle of the shot needs its frame shuffled around. And what you'll find out with frame shuffling is just a much slower process identifying what everything is in the hive so you don't isolate the bees from their resources. In the next apiary, we have a reverse on a double and a reverse on a triple where we also remove a box. I'll pull a frame from this first one just to see if we have food on the edges. I don't think we do. I can see these are empty already. There's enough bees in there, they're going to starve out if I don't put more on them. All right. So we'll come back with a deep that's loaded for that. All right, this colony is 91 pounds. I noted it was grumpy. It is high up on the stand. That's why it's so high in the air. This is just a double. I know this thing's got a ton of weight left in it, doesn't it? She's probably 70, which is kind of the lower limit that I'm okay with this time of year for a double. Nice bright red pollen going in again on this one. Double dose. Oh lordy, they're all the way up here. Now notice there's that kind of circle shape that seems to almost extend down. They might only be in the top box. They might be in both boxes. This might actually be a decent reversing candidate. Now the frame next to it is all food. Yeah, that's all food. A lot of pollen. Boatload of pollen. Good looking pollen. And this side's all honey, as you can see. And there's another frame of honey. Oh, that's a frame of drone brood. I'm going to see if they're in the lower box anymore. I don't like reversing this early in the year. This one's definitely a candidate. I know. They're not happy with that. Okay. There's a lot of open and unused frames in the bottom box. Said the same for the top box. They just need more room. They're trying to be ran as a single accidentally. Because there's all this stuff they ain't using. And there's no reason to think that's going to change at this time of the year. And put that one on the outside. So let's give them some drawn comb from a dead out. That'll give the bees something to do besides gearing up to swarm on us. Let's see what this bottom box is doing. If there's brood on the bottom box or not. If not, we'll do a reverse because they're a candidate. There's most certainly brood in the bottom box. So we can't reverse everything at all, but we can still get some stuff moved around, help them stay productive. I pulled out 3 blanks, so I'll go get 3 open drawns. I don't think they need food. Went ahead and grabbed the box for that first light one. This box has 3 food frames and a bunch of drawn comb in it. And that's just going to give that one time to make it to spring. It's going to have enough food, enough comb for them to move up into it and help me keep them in this box. There's just a lot of bees in there right now. Within the deep I added to that, I had 3 frames of food and 7 frames of open drawn comb. I separated the food by drawn comb frames and placed it over the brood nest. This will allow the bees to ladder up into that supered box rapidly. Yeah, it's mint. Minty fresh. Okay. Back to the usual culprits. I really need to get more space into the top. I can get space next to the brood in the bottom box, so I'm going to risk that. We got coldish weather coming, but I think I'm not going to end up chilling them. They got that many bees in here. Got to move this food frame down. Is there brood on that one? Should probably figure that out. It's light, so there probably is brood on this one. There is. Okay, there is brood on that one. So I'll put that food frame I'm shuffling down to the outside edge of it. So I'm fairly sure the next one doesn't have brood. Come on, girlies, let me on in. They're buzzing the heck out of my fingertips. They aren't too pleased with me. I am messing with a hive at a time that's really not great to mess with them. That's just that's a pollen frame at most. A lot of great red pollen coming in, which is probably the dead nettle in this area. Okay. And now I was going to shuffle this food frame down so they've got fruit on the sides of the brood nest that they've established. I gave them a little bit more room down there to lay. Okay. Now we're going to do similar in this top box. Brood, brood. And there's food on the periphery, so I'm really not worried about starving these if they get isolated. Brood. I don't think there's any brood on this one. I think I've looked at this one. Yeah, that's the all food frame. So that's one definitely worth putting a drawn one next to. Because I'll put this to work immediately. Get that in there. And I'll probably do the same on the other side of this brood nest. Just giving them more room to rear brood and do all that bee stuff that they love to do. Right, let's see if this one's got brood on it. I think it does. You're okay, babies. They are a little feisty, but again, this early in the year, they really don't like getting messed with. Oh, crikey. That's just brood everywhere. We're seeing some uncap recap. That's not abnormal for my bees. They are getting a lot of drones already. So this one's brood. Oh my gracious. Look at that. Did I pull that one out yet? I mean, look at that. Oh my gracious. We're going to be in trouble. Swarm season's coming early, guys. All right. Now, we still have cold weather in the forecast. Like the next, sometimes those frames move faster than you expect them will. The next couple of days are going to be iffy flight weather, so that'll probably move these colonies backwards. But they're coming on strong already. Remember, you can use smoke to confuse alarm odors, but you can also use smoke to, excuse me while I unstick that inner cover, you can also use smoke to move bees. And a lot of times, that's the more useful function. It's actually moving bees out of the way. All right. I'm not sure how long we'll keep these girls in. Not a full reverse, but definitely gave them room to work with. We're in this apiary, and this one's going to be kind of the same as we had the last one. We're really here to check feed, see who's alive, do manipulations if we see a need for it. Got bees trying to get into the side of it, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just something to be observing of. Definitely got bees in it. Has some hive beetles, but nothing too kooky. Bees look healthy from here. I have a feeling we might have a hint of a brood nest about here. So let's look at that. We can confirm if we're queen right or otherwise, and see if there are obvious candidates for a switcheroo or not. Well, the brood might be contained in this upper box, but I'm also seeing plenty of room for her to continue laying in the periphery of these frames. It's a little spotty. Again, consider the weather and what we saw in the other frames. They are definitely not in the lower box. I might reverse them just out of habit. That box has a lot of weight left in it. So there's plenty of food. And this thing looks to be about empty. It is. So if I put that on top, they'll pull it pretty fast. And I know this is theirs. They're oriented with all the bees on the side closer to me. I'm going to put the yellow towards the back in the hopes that doesn't cause bees to try to go to the bottom of the yellow box, which is a frequent issue I'll see. All right, they're good to be put back together. And we'll see what we have when we come back. Now this one should have plenty of everything. So I'm just going to look in the top, make sure they're not out of room forever. I hear them in there. Whew. This colony's got a lot of heft to it. Definitely a lot of bees in here. I could probably reduce them because this is a triple. Odds are they're not using all 3 boxes. Definitely got brood. Definitely got larvae. They are definitely in the top box. Let's pull this top box. See if they're brooded all the way across below. If we got room to do a reverse and pull one of these extra boxes out. And by reverse, I really mean just take the bottommost box off and possibly put this one on the bottom. We'll find out when we get there. She's got a lot of weight to her. Oh, she's got plenty of food. Trapped. That's what I get for breathing hard on them. They are definitely not enjoying hot breath today. They've got food below them, so they might be a good candidate for a reverse. Let me look another frame over just to make sure I'm not just missing seeing the brood that's in here. Pollen and honey and pollen and honey and pollen and honey. Okay, yeah, they're definitely... There's just so many bees in this thing. They're going to get out of room in a hurry. So I'm going to go ahead and do some hijinks with these girls. I think I'm going to reverse and pull the bottommost box out. They're just roaring. Whee! That is just all drawn comb. That is all that is in there. And I know I'm going to need that elsewhere. I'm going to put, oh, something hurt my leg, but it wasn't a bee sting. At least I don't think it was a bee sting. Oh, come on. These colonies are unreasonably large. All right. All right. That is a classic reverse. With that, we have shown examples of framing manipulations in the spring, adding boxes and doing reverses. And with that, I'll say good luck and happy beaking.